The moon landing in 1969 was a momentous event in human history, but over the years, it has sparked countless theories and controversies. In this video, we're going to explore some of the most popular moon landing theories and shed light on what the evidence suggests. Now, before we dive in, let me be clear. The moon landing is widely accepted by experts and scientists as a real event. However, some intriguing and sometimes bizarre theories have emerged over the years, and we're here to explore them with an open mind. The hoax theory. One of the most famous moon landing theories is the idea that the entire event was a staged hoax by the US government. Proponents of this theory claim that the moon landing was filmed in a secret studio, citing anomalies in the footage and photographs as evidence. They point to what they perceive as unusual lighting and shadows in the moon landing videos, suggesting that multiple light sources were used. Additionally, some argue that the American flag planted on the moon appears to be fluttering in the absence of atmosphere. However, experts have debunked many of these claims, explaining the supposed anomalies as quirks of space photography and video technology at the time. For instance, the appearance of fluttering flags can be attributed to the absence of air resistance on the moon, which causes the flag to move differently than it would on Earth. Moreover, the moon landing was a highly publicized event, and thousands of people, including scientists, engineers, and astronauts, were involved in the Apollo program. It would be nearly impossible to keep such a massive hoax a secret for over 5 decades. The moon rock theory. Some moon landing skeptics believe that the moon rocks brought back by Apollo missions are actually Earth rocks or meteorites, and that NASA used them to cover up their lack of moon exploration. They argue that since the rocks are similar in appearance to certain types of terrestrial rocks, they must be fake. However, rigorous testing and analysis of moon rocks have consistently shown that they have distinct characteristics not found on Earth. These characteristics include unique isotopic compositions and mineral compositions that are consistent with lunar geology. In fact, these moon rocks have provided invaluable insights into the moon's history and its relationship to Earth. The radiation belts theory. Another theory suggests that astronauts couldn't have survived the journey through the Van Allen radiation belts, which surround our planet. The Van Allen radiation belts are regions of intense radiation that encircle the Earth, and they were a legitimate concern for NASA during the Apollo missions. However, NASA carefully planned the Apollo missions' trajectories to minimize radiation exposure. The spacecraft's shielding also provided effective protection for the astronauts. The spacecraft passed through the radiation belts relatively quickly, limiting the astronauts' exposure to a manageable level. Thus, while the radiation belts posed a challenge, they were not insurmountable obstacles to the moon landings. The photography shadows theory. Some theorists argue that the shadows in moon landing photos appear inconsistent, suggesting multiple light sources. They claim that this is evidence of a staged event. However, these claims can be explained by the moon's unique surface and lighting conditions. The moon's surface is uneven and covered in craters and hills, causing shadows to appear differently than they would on a flat, well-lit surface like Earth. Additionally, the moon's lack of atmosphere scatters sunlight differently, leading to unique lighting conditions. As a result, shadows can appear longer and more pronounced, giving the illusion of multiple light sources when there is, in fact, only one: the sun. The sound theory. Another curious claim is that the absence of sound in moon landing footage is suspicious. Moon landing skeptics argue that if the moon landing were real, there should have been sound in the videos. However, in the vacuum of space, there's no medium for sound to travel through, so you wouldn't hear anything even if a camera or microphone were present. The absence of sound is consistent with the known laws of physics and the conditions of space. The Soviet silence theory. Some theorists argue that if the moon landing was a hoax, the Soviet Union, America's Cold War rival, would have exposed it. They point to the intense space race competition between the United States and the Soviet Union during the 1960s. However, during the space race, the Soviet Union had its own lunar program, which faced its share of setbacks and failures. The Soviets' silence on the matter may be attributed to their own struggles and desire to focus on their space achievements. Additionally, exposing a hoax of such magnitude would have required solid evidence, which may not have been readily available to the Soviet Union at the time. In conclusion, In conclusion, the moon landing remains one of humanity's greatest achievements, supported by extensive scientific evidence and the testimonies of thousands of engineers, scientists, and astronauts. The various moon landing theories, while intriguing, lack substantial evidence when closely examined.